One of them says live.
Yeah, I just put that in. All right. Party people in the place to be. You on YouTube live with Monday or Moon Days Fryin' with Khonsu, the NUWAUPIan warrior. I'm about to bring him in right now. That's why I'm slurring. So I'm sorry. The laptop closed on the last one we had already set the air, and it wouldn't let me log back into the same one, man. So I had to do it all over again. But your brother be right in shortly. He was already on the set. He right here in the building. And he should be coming in real soon. Oh shit! He wanted me to send a new link to Facebook. Hold on. Coming, Khonsu. Got you, bro. I heard you. Oh yeah, Ray. Here we go.
Yeah, yo. We live now.
Yeah, you got. Yo, man. To the people that's watching, man, and if you're watching already, this been a long time coming. I love this young brother right here, man. Came home from out of the Fed joint, man. Die hard NUWAUPIan. He came home like I'm with the family. He says certain things I don't agree with. I agree with you, but I'm still with the family. And
that's it, man.
He came home and he did what he did with to try to, marinate and mingle with the family and get back in certain places. Some places things was closed, some things doors was open. A lot of things transpired in between that time. I don't really want to get into it. With the with the Vigo and all that. The brother saw some things I was saying. But at the same time, that don't take away from me respecting my fellow NUWAUPIans, NUWAUPIans, whatever new name they going by now, or people in general that's on the right path. If you on the right path, you just on the right path, man. You know what I mean? Some of us got different levels of how we ascended or how we risen in our knowledge or how far we awokening. Because and it's a awakening and awakening, I make up my own words. When it's awakening time or awakening time, there's layers and layers and layers and layers of people. Oh, let me share this link in here first, bro, because these people going crazy. They going to the other one. Let me get them in here first. Let me get this shit. Get this shit. You can talk to the people though if you want to, bro.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and set up my little, all the information, my resources.
Okay, yeah, get your thing, and I gotta share the screen to you too, right? So you can.
Yeah, I can share it. Yep, I got it right here. Yeah, so basically, can you hear me? Hey, make sure they can hear me in the live chat, Zamal. I don't know what happened. Hey, you still hear me? Hey, can you hear me? I don't know if he can hear me. I gotta go to the damn live feed. Chat. Oh, I see the chat right here. Hey, I can't hear you, Zamal. Hey, I can't hear you. Okay, all right.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now. Okay, all right.
You can hear me now? I'm just sharing right now. I'm just sharing it.
Okay.
Getting it out so they could catch me, catch up to me. Cause I had to remake it. I'm gonna fix it up. Ain't gonna be no echoes. I'm gonna fix it. You alright? Yeah. Yeah, you good. Alright, let me get up this shit too. That's that R2D2 in me coming through. Alright. Alright, bro. Here I go. Now we on. Alright. Echo clear. Share you the screen, right? Because you got some things you're gonna show up there, right?
Yeah, I can share the screen from my side.
Oh, you got it? Okay,
yeah.
okay. Because sometimes it don't be. Can y'all hear me? Yeah, I heard you, bro. We good. All right. So, like I was saying, I've been following the brother for a minute. He's an artist. He create music, man. Brother's talented in many ways. Not just in studying diversity and being humble and meek and polite and positive and really for the people. Not just all that. You know what I mean? His actions speak it. You know what I mean? I feel his vibrations. I feel his tone. And that's why I named him the NUWAUPIan warrior because I remember when I had that heart and that spirit, and I was in the information like that, and I was just bringing it to people's awareness in that way. You know what I mean? Very, very, very strong behind it. And then some of us grow up and we put the toys down. Other people still gotta go through their shit. Their ascension, their growth. You know what I mean? And development. You know what I mean? They gotta get up and get out there. So and get their wings up, and that's what I love about the brother. He used sound right reasoning.
That's it.
Period. And he ain't afraid to say that he didn't have the experience yet. And that's what a lot of fail to do. They fail to say they haven't had the experience. So they can't explain the phenomenon. They can't explain the other side. They can't explain behind the non-ball. They may can explain behind the non-ball, but they ain't experienced to really tell you what is really kicking for. You know what I mean? Most people just proof evidence folks. You know what I mean? So, I seen the brother on the show. I was watching the show where because first I watched Abdul. I watched Abdul and Chuck go at it first. Khonsu.
Right.
And I said, ooh, Abdul getting in him.
Yeah,
Abdul was setting them, brother Abdul was setting them straight. I mean, he had him interrupting him. Situation was critical, and Sinetta wasn't taking sides. So it was a fair trial. You got to see that Chuck is a buffoon. You know what I mean? He's a regurgitated parrot. that can't stop repeating the same shit, and thousands of people actually flock to hear him say that same shit. So you should be flocking to hear us say the same things. But here we are now. The brother show came a couple days later, and I looked up and I see Khonsu on there with the Dagger squad and Chuck. And I'm like, this brother done walked it, but he's that type of warrior. See, this is what he's not afraid to walk in the lion's den alone.
That's right.
You know what I mean? He's not afraid to get mauled or scarred by the enemy. You know what I mean? Not saying everyone has to follow that way and do it that way. I'm just saying those that claim they're the warriors. You feel me? Or the ones they did to say they did the Ansars. You know what I mean? The holders of the truth.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And I didn't like how they was handling the brother, and they wasn't trying to let him talk. And then when you get on a lot of these fuddy-duddy shows, they want to critique you, they want to edit you, they want to cut you off, they don't want to give fair shots, they don't want to let the person speak their you know what I mean, which your natural law, right? You know what I mean? Is to speak without no one putting any hold balls on your words or what you should say.
Right.
How you should say it, man. And I don't think it's a thing as an evidence proof where a person can't use experience or go off of what their build is. These dudes always got to run to something. So, you know, the brothers got into they was disrespecting the brother. So I just was like, damn, bro, just come over here. If you feel like you want to vent, you can always come on this channel, you know what I mean, and say whatever you want to say. You know, the Somals tap in, Somalettes tap in, you know, whether they say it or not. You know, they be checking. Just trust.
I appreciate it too.
They never know if I'm a shooter. They don't know if I'm shooting at them or I'm shooting at Chuck and them. But I ain't shooting at nobody tonight. I'm letting the brother do the fact check. He gonna get his ego on, and not no feminine way. He ain't gonna drop it like it's hot. He's just gonna go break this shit up. You know what I mean? So, you know, further ado, Khonsu, talk to the people, tell them what you dealing with tonight. How you coming?
Rahubat, Yasar, Hotep, peace to the family, to everybody out there. Let me give a big thanks to my big brother Black Son for having me on. You know, basically, man, this is basically my rebuttal to the Dagger Squad debate that I did with Chuck Morgan and the Dagger Squad, Garfield. And I knew what I was getting into. Let me tell you now, this debate started, it was supposed to initially be about the case, right? And I was with Wu Jiao or Rick.
Right.
But this, we wasn't live on this because he had to go. So somehow it turned into me debating Chuck Morgan about the science of Nuwaupu, the NUWAUPIAN doctrine. Then it turned into, of course, me against the whole damn panel because I knew I was, you know what I'm saying? I knew where I was at anyway. So I was cool with it. Like you say, I was willing to do that because I can hold my own. It don't matter. So long story short, we get into, and I'm gonna play, I'm gonna start by basically getting to the nitty gritty about, I'm gonna start playing portions of that debate with the Dagger Squad and Chuck Morgan, and then we're gonna sift through the lies because there's two key points that I was trying to prove to these guys. Number one, when they try to critique the NUWAUPIAN teachings that was brought to us here in the West by Dr. Malachi York, known by many other names, but I'm gonna just say Dr. Malachi York just to keep it simple and plain. They like to point out bits and pieces of the out formation. Instead of dealing with the information, they like to talk about extraterrestrials, planet risk, and, you know, the basic stuff that they try to say we can't verify, which we can. So,
right.
Yeah. So my initial point was, okay, does African spirituality and African cultures teach about life on other planets? Does NASA teach about life on other planets? Can I find this information to be able to verify this stuff in other places besides Dr. York books? And of course, we all know that we can. So initially, I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen real quick. And
that's what I was talking about. They wasn't trying to let the brother do nothing. They was
Yeah. So I'm gonna start.
Speak peace. So I want him to speak. Yeah, I can see your.
Right.
Oh yeah, I see it.
All right. This is I'm gonna start it off, and you're gonna see how it was supposed to go, and then we're gonna go through the whole. You know, I'm gonna put this in the link so people can go back and watch it. But it's two key points I want to deal with. The first key point is proving or providing irrefutable evidence for the existence of life on other planets. The second key point is something that really shocked me. They had one of the dudes who was supposedly a scholar in the hieroglyphics or meta, and he was arguing with me tooth and nail that the word Orion is not in the hieroglyphics.
Right.
And then he even made the boldest statement I've ever heard in my life, and he said that the Remech, which is a word that the ancient Tamarans or Cometians or Nubians or Egyptians used to use to describe themselves only when they're comparing themselves to other people. So, but he said that the Remech, the Egyptians, never even talked about other planets, other galaxies, Sirius and Orion. And when he said it, I was like, this brother do not know what he's talking about. So that let me know that the main people that you have slandering the NUWAUPIANs and slandering Dr. Malachi York, number one, they're not even knowledgeable enough, honestly, to challenge or question not only Dr. Malachi York, but even his students like us.
Right.
And when you do that, when you figure out and realize that these people who are slandering don't even have basic intelligence with something that they say they study, like Egyptian teachings, African teachings, or language, the hieroglyphic meta, then it makes you question, you know, everything else that they teaching on their page, on their channel. Like, damn, if you don't know basic stuff like this, then you know.
A lot of them do know, bro, and they that's they fake out. They fake too.
Yeah.
They try to, fake some. Most of them fake out like they don't.
Right.
But they do. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Go ahead.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and start because I want everybody to see how this thing built up. Keep in mind now, this was off the cusp. I was driving, literally. I was driving when I got the link to join this. So we just going to go ahead and start.
Share your screen all the way too, bro.
Okay. All right, let me open it up.
Because you ain't got to open it. There you go. Open it up. That's right.
See it now?
You know what I mean? Yeah, now you wide open. There you go. Come on.
All right, here we go. We're going to start. We're going to see how this thing started off real quick. I'm going to hit play.
Okay. No, I was just saying. I don't think Chuck can defend that, or you can defend that. I think it's a null and void issue. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? But keep talking. Go ahead. The floor is yours, brother. Go ahead. And then Chuck, you can go right after.
Okay. My problem with Chuck Morgan is it's not his interpretation of it or whatever. Like I said, Chuck is very skilled in the NUWAUPIAN doctrine. But what he does is he picks out the most outlandish. For instance, in the NUWAUPIAN teachings, we have what's called information and out formation. Information is basically any kind of knowledge or information that can, or knowledge or a group of teachings that can be researched, that can be, verified by anybody. A little research on any kind of informational topic can be found. Anybody can find it if they dig hard enough. Okay. I'm gonna say 90%. I'm gonna get to the meat and potatoes of it real quick.
I'm gonna pause it right there.
Now that's where it got ratchet right there.
Right.
because they kept interrupting me. He wouldn't let me finish.
Right. This nigga Garfield is the most disrespectful.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
They bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
He's bad. And he's so one-sided. And,
right.
And when you was punching him and you was hitting him with that right jab.
Right.
At one time he was kind of he was on your side. He was like, "Hold up, y'all niggas ain't stick. Y'all ain't asking the questions. You ain't getting at him right. Like, come on, you got the answer." They was hoping they could come back and get you. But like you said, within the doctrine, we had what was called information and we had what was called outformation, bro.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna do it now. I'm gonna let you do your piece, but that's all I wanted to say. You're right. We had what was called alpha information and alphamation,
right?
And the information was those that was in line with the information, like regular debaters do. They go online, they go research, and they dig up all this from other people. That's information. But when you get alphamation, then you come out of formation and you step into another realm of reality, of receiving from the outside of yourself.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You're getting this information is being downloaded into you, and then it goes back in.
Right.
Which others don't know, but that's another topic. I'm gonna let you get to it.
All right, let me find this real quick.
And you trying to mix after spiritual.
All right, here we go right here.
You in the fucking car and don't know it. And I drank cognac.
Oh, wow, listen to this.
Now, how about that, nigga? I smoked out of keys and cocaine. How about that, nigga? Nigga, I ain't never been a crackhead, nigga. Nigga, I smoked out of keys and cocaine, nigga.
That's him admitting that he smoked cocaine. But anyway, let's keep going.
How about that, nigga?
Let's get to the meat and potatoes, which is right here.
Oh man.
All right here.
What Chuck just said, brother?
Am I denying that Dr. York was telling about the Andromedan guy? Yes, in the book. What's the point?
Okay. So do you agree with the teachings, though?
Now, first of all, before I answer, let me say, before I was interrupted by Unc, I was explaining.
Don't say my name, yo. Don't say my name.
Before I was interrupted, I was explaining that what the organ does. Same thing you're doing by mentioning information. This is all y'all do. Think that you know the NUWAUPIAN teaching, and probably about a 3% out of the totality of the teaching. Man, aliens, all this crap. What and manipulativity does is pick and choose a small portion of NUWAUPIAN doctrine and we information and to make us look like absolute. But he never talks about the other 97% of factual information that can be verified and proven when it comes to in response to what he was saying about Credo.
Hey, mute your mic, Jamal.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
In response to what
my bad, thank you.
Okay. Credo Mutwa, the oral tradition that was passed down to him, he's basically a continuance of that. Okay. And let's sum it up so we don't go from here to here to Pickle Man to ET, Predator, and all this crap.
Why do you sound so low? Is there somewhere? Because I turned your microphone very to the fullest, and you still sound low.
Okay, hold on.
Let me mute my mic.
Okay, you hear me now a little better?
Yeah, you sound better.
Okay. All right. So when we did, let's just stay on the extraterrestrial aspect because this is where everybody likes to go when people try to discredit the NUWAUPIAN teachings. We go to the extraterrestrial thing. First and foremost.
Try to discredit. Man, this nigga crazy.
Hey, man. Hey, are you gonna be quiet?
I might. Whenever I feel like bashing you, I'll jump right in.
You're just a slander. Just be quiet. Let me finish.
I'm a slanderer now. I'm a molester. But I'm slanderer.
When you deal with extraterrestrialism or the acceptance of existence or the belief of existence of life outside of this planet, what you have to understand is that from the dawn of time, right? If you do a little research, you'll find out that the oldest so-called religion on the face of the planet is what they call animism. Animism means the acceptance that everything, it comes from the Latin word anima, which means soul. It comes from it means that it's a way of life that basically says that everything that exists has a spirit counterpart. It deals with nature reverence. It deals with ancestral reverence. It deals with living in tune with the forces of the nature and forces of the universe and your ancestors. When you get to the core of the NUWAUPIAN doctrine, if you ask an animist, what is your religion? This is what our answer is going to be. Let me say this too. Y'all be interviewing some stupid ass NUWAUPIANs. Y'all, I don't know if y'all pick and choose in these casts, but y'all interview ignorant NUWAUPIANs. But if you ask the NUWAUPIAN, what is your
I thought you was the ignorant NUWAUPIAN that was on the show right now.
Be quiet, nigga. Shut the fuck up. Shut
I pray, yeah.
I had to get
you gonna keep playing it?
I did.
Yeah, I'm finna get this. Finna hit home right here. It's finna hit home right here.
We don't have a word for that in our language. We don't have. There is no word in the NUWAUPIC language. There is no word in Meta-Netta. But the word that we do have in the NUWAUPIC language, which is ZAM, Z-A-A-M, right? Which is a reconstructed form of the Meta-Netta word am, A-A-M, which can be found in Wallace Budge Dictionary, means to tie or to bind.
What happened? Khonsu?
Yeah, I'm here. And you go back to
you was bringing it back, son?
Yeah. To the Book of James, pyramid text. You go to the oral traditions in Africa today that exist. In Zulu, speaking of Credo Mutua, in Zulu, they have a group of beings called the Chitauri. I'm a Zulu, right? And in these oral traditions, they teach that these beings came from beyond this constellation and seeded this life with planet. And seeded this planet with life. When you go to the Dogon of Mali in West Africa, they talk about the Nomo. These are a group of beings who came from beyond this planet, specifically Sirius, and came to this planet and seeded life. When you go to the Hopi Native Americans, they call their beings the Kachina, which translates as sky gods, which says these beings came from beyond this planet here and seeded this life, seeded this planet with life, and so on and so on and so forth. Now, to speed it up to modern day, you have what's called panspermia. Panspermia says simply that life on Earth was seeded from beyond this atmosphere, whether it's through meteorites, whether it's through extraterrestrial intervention, whether it's through anything like that. Okay? There is no, and keep this in mind, there is no culture today that lives and exists. Indigenous culture, when I say indigenous, I'm talking about any culture or way of life that goes back past 6,000 years, namely Hindu, Dravidian, the Asians, Africans, Native Americans. Each one of these groups of beings teaches the same thing that the NUWAUPIAN doctrine teaches in reference to life on Earth coming from beyond the skies to this planet. This is why the ancient Egyptians or the Cometians or the Tamareans or the Nubians, this is why they had such infatuation with the celestial, because they were making a replica of the celestial, which is why the three pyramids line up with Orion's belt, so on and so forth. Okay, they also teach you that when the Pariah or the Pharaoh transitions, his aim through the opening of the Mount ceremony is to make a peaceful transition back to Orion to become Osiris. And then when the Pharaoh takes the throne, he becomes Horus or God.
Boom.
So what Chuck Morgan likes to do is pick and choose through whatever Dr. York is saying about these different extraterrestrial beings to make him look like a complete moron, but he fails to mention that ain't not one. You can't name me one. Now go talk to a Hindu and ask him about Nirvana. Ask them about Nirvana. Ask them who their ancestors were and where they come from. and watch what they tell you. But you pick and choose when it comes to the NUWAUPIANs, because the aim is to try to make us look foolish. But you can only make us look foolish by dibbling dabbling through the information. When you do what I just did, which is comparing other cultures, because you got to realize that the true students of Dr. Malachi York do not just read NUWAUPIAN books. We don't. I'm well versed in everything. So, in closing, this extraterrestrial thing is millions and billions of people all over the planet, including NASA. Right? You have to ask yourself the question: why would NASA be putting so many millions and millions of dollars into discovering life on other planets? They're actually selling lots of land on Mars because they plan to one day go there. So, in closing, yes, we teach about extraterrestrial existence. Chuck mentioned evidence, experience, and reason. I have evidence. I don't have experience, but I do have reasoning. That's called deductive reasoning. 2 out of 3. So I'm not telling you that I believe in aliens. I've never seen an alien. I'm not telling you that it's an actual fact that aliens exist. And any NUWAUPIAN that tells you it's an actual fact that aliens exist is lying to you if he can't produce the evidence. But what I am telling you is there's overwhelming evidence that extraterrestrials do exist, and as opposed to them not existing. It's overwhelming evidence that life exists on other planets in reference to everything just being empty. So that's boy. When you talk about extraterrestrial existence, you're dealing with something that every indigenous culture, Africa, India, Asia, and North America, that teaches the exact same thing, and even the ancient Egyptians, right, who teach about the Teteru, which in Heradic is Natara, which translates as watchers.
Hold on, time out. Say what? Whoa.
Now, okay, now this is where this guy named Sean Ini who is supposedly he's supposedly the Dagger Squad's hieroglyphic scholar, right? This is when he comes in and questions me on whether or not the Egyptians taught about extraterrestrials and whether or not the word Orion is in the pyramid text. And this is where we about to get into some severe fact checking right here. Hold on 1 second.
In the Heradic script. No. Yes.
No, host, I need you to repeat what you just said, so I'm not.
Natara in Heradic script translates as watchers. Now, prove that wrong. I bet you.
No, you said something that you.
Because I got a Heradic dictionary sitting right here in front of me. I got a hieroglyphic book sitting right here. Okay, so that's the same with the extraterrestrials. And in fact, Malachi said, you don't. He said specifically. He said this is not a community of people that believe in extraterrestrials. This is a community of people that have hovering over the pyramid. I wasn't there. I don't know.
We can hear your conversation.
There's overwhelming evidence that life exists on other planets. Next question.
Hold on. We can hear your conversation.
I got him. I got him. So, are you saying that the Remich believed in extraterrestrials?
What? Somebody called me?
Nah, nobody did.
Yeah, y'all called me. This nigga sit here for a whole hour and talk about.
Now go ahead. What's the next question?
Khonsu, did you say that the Remich believed in extraterrestrials?
According to several Egyptian texts.
Now I'm gonna go ahead and go to the part to where he's questioning me on specifically Orion and the pyramid text, so that I can get him to present my evidence real quick.
Can you name the text?
Name the text. Pyramid text.
Okay, demonstration.
Don't put words in my mouth now.
Hold on.
Do you have a plate? Do you have a plate number? Do you have a plate number?
Hey, hold on, Sean and Khonsu. Hold on 1 second. Let me take. Hold on, Khonsu. Hold on 1 second. Khonsu. Hold on 1 second. See, why am I shouting?
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
This is what I'm saying to everybody. There's nothing you can say, and this goes for Chuck too. There's nothing you could say on this channel. If you don't have the proof for it, don't mention it. It's not gonna go because now Sean asked you to show it. I guarantee you can't show it to him. I guarantee.
You heard that? Yeah. Hey, he said, I guarantee you can't show it. That's what he said now.
Right, I remember.
Let's not make claims so that the audience is made silly or stupid just for listening to this conversation. All right? All right, so go ahead now. Continue, brother. Sean said, do you find it in the Perret Meru or whatever you want to call it? Perret Meru or whatever. Is it there? Do you have the evidence? Go.
Yeah. You want me to find it?
Here we go.
No. So that I can verify this and you can move forward.
Here we go. This one, they kicked me out. I had to come back in right here.
Telling you what the purpose of the opening of the mouth.
He was talking about the pyramid text by P. Allen.
Now, he got all the books right there. Now, watch how stupid he about to look.
He could be talking about the one.
Yes, leave it right there for a minute.
Here we go.
Here we go. Let's go. You all right?
And from what I got is sacredtext.com, pyramid text, utterance 610. And it's called The Deceased King on Earth and in Heaven. Okay, and this is line. Now let me say this too now. I'm not a professional meta scholar. So I am.
Whose translation are you reading?
Huh?
Whose translation are you reading? Because when you say Orion, all of this, we know it's got to be European.
Well, this is actually giving you the meta-netas.
Now, keep in mind, he's saying that he's asking whose translation am I using? Because if it says Orion, it's European. But look at the same books that at the end of this, he says he found 3 translations where all 3 of them say Orion. Here we go.
Sahu. This is giving you the actual meta-neta word, Sahu.
Can you put the link that you're reading, or what you said a PDF you're reading from?
Yeah, I will provide that. I'll provide that. But you asking me to do this is really foolish. But I'm gonna just let me read it first. This is from.
No.
Oh my God.
No. What are you reading from?
I'm reading from the pyramid text, utterance 610, and it's called The Deceased King on Earth and in Heaven.
All right. Hold on. Utterance 610. You say you're reading it from the pyramid text. So you have the pyramid text on your phone, right?
Sacredtext.com. That's
Oh, you went to sacredtext.com. Okay, so let me go to sacredtext.com.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Let me go to sacredtext.com. Beautiful. I love sacred text.
This is what NUWAUPIANs do. We just don't be spitting out shit without kind of having
I want to hear what NUWAUPIANs do.
Let me get to it. Here we go, right here.
Yo, he got mad when you said that. That's when they started getting mad because you
exactly.
them in the head right there.
Yeah.
Play that part right there when you start busting them in the head. What we do? Go ahead.
That's it, right here.
Now it says, "Thou passest through Abydos, in this thy dignity of spirit, commanded by the gods to be in thee. A ramp is trodden for thee in the jet to the
Then he tried to scrutinize my pronunciation. I mean, come on, it's a 2,000-year damn old language. Of course, I ain't gonna be able to pronounce it all the way good. But here we go.
Duwat. Now I got the Duwat right here. I got the Duwat next to me. Keep reading.
Now it says, "A ramp is trodden for thee to the Duwat, to the place where Sahu is."
No,
Right.
it doesn't say Sahu. It says Sa. It doesn't say Sa.
Well, it don't matter if I say ooh or Sa. I'm just pronouncing it that way. That's Sa. That's for.
He's continuing to challenge my pronunciation, yet he just said that it wasn't even in there, and I just showed him.
Right. It's right there.
Correct you.
Right.
I just really saying that
But I knew it when you were saying.
Yeah.
period under the H. So we need to be careful when
And
you
that's
see
Sa.
it.
Sa is Orion.
Sa. How is Sa? Oh my goodness.
To the place where Sa is.
Okay. So how do you get Orion from Sa?
All right. Now his question was, how do I get Orion from Sa? So let's go to Wallace Budge Egyptian Hieroglyphic Dictionary. I got the link in my messenger. Let's go to. Matter of fact, I want to include. My brother Annie Jeb, who actually helped me with some research. Hold on. Let's pull it up. Man, I can't find that. Hold up. I'm gonna just pull it from I'm gonna pull it from here, but my brother Annie Jeb helped me with the references and stuff. He gave me a lot of good references to use to help out with this thing. Let me see if I could pull it up quickly. Oh, I had it saved already. But hold on, let's find it. Oh, that ain't it. Give me 1 second. I'm pulling it up from here because I want to show.
Nah, you doing right. You doing right.
I want to show my brother helped contribute to some of this research right here.
Right.
I put a whole post on this on Facebook, and I tagged Chuck Morgan in it, and I think I tagged Garfield in it as well. None of them responded.
Nah, they ain't. Sometimes Chuck will. I don't know. He usually on run, but
right.
I ain't been.
Oh man, I've been tagging.
I ain't been texting Larry in a minute.
Man, I've been tagging him so much.
We destroyed them last year on Amani Wisdom. I left them dudes alone.
Yeah, it's really pointless. Here we go, right here, Zamal. Right here. It's from my brother Anijel with Paul Watat. That's why I wanted to, I wanted to show that he helped do some research for this. But this is from Wallace Budge Dictionary.
Right, what you sent to me earlier, right?
Right. And you can see what I'm circling is Sah. S-A-H. Right?
Right.
You go down and look through the definitions, you see it right here, Orion.
Mm-hmm.
And you go down to Sahit, which is a rendition of that word. You see the goddess of Orion. Then when you go to Sahu, which he tried to tell me was a wrong pronunciation, you see the star gods in the constellation Orion. Then if you go down to the next Sahu, you see stars of Orion. Then you go down to the next Sah, you see the boat of Orion. So you got like over 10 references right here. You know what I'm saying? Where it's clearly telling you that Sah or Sahu is in reference to a star constellation, right?
Right.
Now, this is where you kill them at. Because this is what I was reading from the pyramid text right here. This is from the pyramid text. 610, utterance 610, and if you start at 1716b, it says, "Thou passest through Abydos. In this thy dignity of spirit, commanded by the gods." This is key right here. "A ramp is trodden for thee to the Duat, to the place where Sah is." Now we know the Duat is the underworld, or basically,
right.
When you transform or die, like some people say, your spirit goes through the Duat, where then you go to the judgment hall of Osiris. The judgment hall of Osiris,
right?
Where your heart is weighed against the feather of Ma'at. This is
right.
This is basic Egyptology, right? So what it's saying right here is a ramp is trodden for thee to the Duat, to the place where Sah, Orion, is. So that's telling you, once you make it through the Duat, and once you pass, or if you pass, then you immediately going where? To Orion. Now,
now, don't they say somewhere also Duat is stars too?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because what we have to realize is when the ancient Egyptians, and I'm using that word for people that I almost say Cometians, Tamarans, Nubian, you know, I'm gonna just keep it plain. The ancient Egyptians, when they speak about in the meta, it's a word called pet and or patat. In the Wapuyi, we say patat, which is ain't nothing but a double consonant, but pet is the same word. This is the word for heaven or celestial. When the ancient Egyptians spoke about heaven, the heavens, they were speaking about star constellation. They weren't speaking about no spooky ass heaven with pearly gates and angels and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? They were speaking about star constellations, point blank, period. Okay, right. So it's telling you a ramp is trodden for thee to the Duat, to the place where Sa is. Now the next line automatically proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that it's talking about a celestial origin, because it says the ox of heaven seizes thine arm. Right. And pulling you in. Thou nourishest thyself with the food of the gods. Right? Right. Now he told you that don't exist. What I'm showing you right now in the pyramid text, he swore up and down that it don't exist. Right. Now, here's another example. It says Sa was the father of the gods, which was a personification of modern Orion and Lepus constellations. It's giving you the glyphs. And you go down here, it's saying it's referencing for the pyramid text, which is exactly what I'm reading from. And it says Pharaoh was thought to travel to Orion after his death. What is that? In Nuwaupian, we call that astrobiology. Right. Follow that? That means you return to the Saba or Siba, which is the imperishable stars. Okay, and I'm gonna give one more. We're talking.
And you take a ride on the solar boat, right?
Exactly. That's all the same thing. Whether we want to say Nibiru or the solar bark of Ray, all this is speaking about some kind of damn craft to travel to. You see what I'm saying? That's what it's talking about. And this is my point. When a person does real research, this stuff right here is like, come on, are you serious? Even right here in the back of the hieroglyphic dictionary, it's got Sa as Orion. Right here. Right. You see what I'm saying? Right. This is irrefutable evidence right here. Okay. Now, let's go to a few different renditions of the translation. This is from Let the Pyramid Text Speak. I post all the links to this, but I'm going to go down and it's going to give you about 4 or 5 different translations. And all of them say the same thing. It's irrefutable. Okay. Now, first he tried to ask me for a primary source in the glyphs, and this is it right here. So let's see right here. Hold on.
John, you're going to. How do you know what that word means? You break that down for us.
He asked me, how do I know what that word means? Did you hear that? Ignorance. How do I know what that word means?
How do you know what that word? How the fuck does he know what that word means? Yeah, exactly. And that's my point I want to get to. I ain't trying to bust up your thing. So I know I can say all this piece afterwards.
Right.
All these dudes talking about they know meta and they studying and they telling you what it means. I know. I got all type of books.
Exactly.
Man, please. But go ahead.
Let's
do your thing, bro. Just go ahead. Keep going.
All right.
Doing good.
Sa can be used for Orion. It can also be used for mummy. They call the mummy the Sahu.
Okay. What dictionary? All right. How did you get that book to be Orion?
Many hieroglyphic dictionaries.
Okay, so you got okay.
Now another thing this is proving is that Garfield don't got a clue about, at least the other dude.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I said. Yeah, I was speeding up like.
Garfield don't have a clue about any of this stuff because he's asking me, how do I know this? Where am I getting it from? Blah, blah, blah. Now, at least the other dude, Sean or any Herit is his comedic name, I think. At least he, because at the end, you're going to see where he found 3 places. At least he was humble enough to say that he found 3 translations where it comes out as Orion. But clearly, Garfield don't know shit. This dude is blundering ignorant.
Right.
He ain't got a clue.
Right.
Hold on a second. You're saying that specific terminology they use, they're right, right?
I did not want
Place where it says, a ramp is crowding for thee to the duat, to the place where Sa is. The ox of heaven seizes thine arm. Notice the next line, he's referencing heaven. So that's automatically telling you that Sa translates as Orion, and it's used in
No, it does
to,
not.
because the very next line says the ox of heaven. Now, in order for you guys to try to think like you know what better scholars for real, you would be putting out your own hieroglyphic. Do you know what?
Now, clearly, now this is what I told him, and my point was this: in order for you to try to challenge not me, but in order for you to try to challenge various hieroglyphic dictionaries from Faulkner, James P. Allen, Wallace Budge, Vegas, in order for you to try to challenge this, you're gonna have to put out. If you that nice in translating hieroglyphics, you will come out with your own dictionary. You will come out with your own copy of the pyramid.
Shout out to my London boy, DeJoffrey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My boy got 1,000 sayings. He wrote his own book. Like he stay on, like these are doc students. They writing their own books.
Exactly.
Polite, you mad at Polite, but Polite writing his own books.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody's showing forth their own, like you're bringing your own breakdown. You ain't learned that from there. You learned that on your, but that's still basic knowledge, like you said.
Yeah. And
get to him, especially Garfield. See, his Garfield main thing is right when he does that little thing. His thing is now, man, I could trip him up because I want to see if he really got a proof behind it. Because his thing is, I didn't want to go in there with no hearsay or what you think or what you experienced. But then he agreed with you on the principle of sound right reasoning. How do you find the evidence and proof?
Exactly. And you made a valid point though. When Dr. Malachi York when he started to rebut people, or when he started to question people and question translations and question the validity, he produced L's Holy Quran. He produced L's Holy Torah.
His own translation.
Yeah, exactly. Because you can't question the translation unless you can properly translate it. So yeah, so that's what I'm asking him. But nigga, if you that nice with translating hieroglyphics, why haven't you translated the pyramid text? Why haven't you translated the Book of the Dead? Why haven't you translated this stuff? You see what I'm saying? So we almost
listen, pet guys in heaven. Pet is heaven. The word pet means heaven. When they talk about the sky, when the Egyptians talk about heaven, they talk about the celestial, not no spooky place.
Listen. When they talk about the sky, they're going to reference it in their words. They're not going to take something and then remix it. This is why we asked you what we asked you. Because what you're doing is you're using something and then you're trying to justify it into something else. The remix, they didn't talk about Orion and Sirius and all these old other things. They didn't.
What?
They did what they did.
What?
They didn't get
Hold up.
Any of that, because what
I'm gonna
bring it back.
When they talk
listen
about
to what he
sky,
said, man.
They're going to reference
listen to this.
They're not going to take something and then remix it. This is why we asked you what we asked you. Because what you're doing is you're using something and then you're trying to justify it into something else. The remix, they didn't talk about Orion and Sirius and all these old other things. They didn't get into that. They did what they did.
How you gonna say they didn't get into that?
Now watch this. He said the Remech or the Egyptians didn't talk about Sirius and Orion. Now watch this. I'm gonna show one more reference from the pyramid text, and then I'm gonna bust their ass because they kept asking me about primary text. This is from the ceiling from the tomb of Senenmut, which is a new kingdom pharaoh. Sahu, Orion, is shown with Orion's belt above him. He is preceded by the Hades star group and followed by Sirius. Look at that. Those are the three stars of Orion right there right there.
Right.
Right there.
And then you caught him on there because then he ended up admitting that it don't necessarily have to be Orion.
Yeah.
When they're using it in a certain form in the text, but you made it plain which way you was using it. So you knew, because like you were saying, what's the purpose of the
open of the mouth
ceremony?
Yeah. And let's even
gain safe passage.
Yeah. Let's even read what it says right here. It says, this is a commentary on the pyramid text. He says, it is clear from the Egyptian funerary text that the pyramid text that Sahu was the soul of Osiris, and that the sky region, this bright constellation, was considered a very desirable place, a place for the souls of the kings to go after the traumas of death and rebirth. Right? Now, if you go down, the same utterance that I read from, it giving you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 7 or 8 examples, even down here. This is another rendition of when I said the ramp is laid out for thee to the duat. This one says, the duat has grasped your hand at the place where Orion is. May you ascend to the sky. May the sky give birth to you like Orion. In your name, O dweller of Orion. You see, and constantly over and over and over and over and over.
Right, because if you, I don't know what text is in or where it's at, but there's also, I think, a quote where it says, where they have it where the duat is the 3 stars of Orion.
Yeah,
so what you was just reading, it was saying like was going from 1 star to the next star,
right?
To the next star, because each star is its own universe.
Yeah,
you feel?
Yeah, and here's the thing that people have to understand. Let's get something clear right here, right now. The pyramid text, the Per-Em Haru, or the Book of the Dead, the Book of Coming Forth by Day, the Book of Gates. Okay, the coffin text, all these are funerary papyrus, meaning all these books have one thing in common. They all talk about the travel of the soul after death.
Okay. Right, like the one when they show what is it, Osiris on the boat,
right?
And then 3 stars when he got the staff in his hand. Boom, 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 and then okay, go ahead. Back.
All of these books,
all right.
All of these books are funerary texts. So all of them are talking about and then the Book of Gates speaks about the different dimensions that you go through in the spirit realm, because a lot of people think the dumbest thing that a person can say, or unlearned people say, is rest in peace. That gives the impression that after you die, you're just going to be resting on a beach up in heaven for the rest of eternity. No, that's not how it works. You know what I'm saying? We know that it's different levels and different degrees. We can even take it back to the holy tablets. You know what I'm saying? Nasut, Lahut, and Malakut. We can take it back to the seven planes of existence. You see that? So what they're saying is, after you die or pass form, even when you go to the spirit world, you have a purpose there, and you can go higher and higher and higher until you become an ascended master. Now, according to NUWAUPIAN, what is an ascended master? An ascended master is somebody who has broke the reincarnation cycle and can incarnate at will. Or Doc taught about it back in the Ansar school. He explained it as intergalactic travel, right? Where you would be reborn into another immortal body on another planet. You see what I'm saying? This is astrobiology, astrophysics. So a lot of people who not familiar with the NUWAUPIAN teachings, that's why I say in order to really know something, you got to study that stuff, because like I say, you take NUWAUPIAN, and I can take you to any indigenous culture, and I can show you bits and pieces of that science in NUWAUPIAN. You know what I'm saying? But I want to show this real quick. This is Ashraquazi, right? And he's about to give you what I call a nail in the coffin. He's about to show you the
Okay. Hold on. Someone in I think it's Matwa Emery.
Okay.
He said he couldn't see the text, and then he says Sahu was what the Egyptians called it the Greek said Orion, right? We know this, okay?
Right.
The body. Now there's your answer right here, though. What you said next, though, which, brother, that was the answer to what we're saying right there. You said the body of Asar was associated with Sahu, right? Exactly. So now when you look at the star constellation Orion, that's supposed to be the body when it extends with Sirius and all the rest. So it's still a body of Asar.
That's this right here.
Because that's supposed to be his belt. That's
right.
Why it's called Orion's belt.
Right. And these 3 points and this star constellation and right here now, right here, Ashraquazi is about to explain it. Right here. I'm going to go directly because remember, he kept saying the Egyptians didn't talk about that type of stuff. But let's see what the world-renowned Kemetic scholar Ashraquazi is saying. Here we go.
And the star system Orion was connected with Osiris. Keep in mind that the star system Orion was aligned perfectly with the chambers of the pyramids that we're going to deal with later on in our lecture series when we get into it. So this is serious knowledge to show you how profound our ancestors saw that they were building and with the constellation of the universe. Tomorrow when you go into Saqqara, you're also going to see the Pyramid of Unas, showing the first concept of ascension into heaven.
That's the pyramid.
Long before there was Christianity, long before there were little white angels with wings under, that we get a concept that we're going to go to heaven. Unas already had the concept of ascension into heaven, or a spirit going into heaven, known as astrotheology.
This is
what our ancestors saw: the soul becoming one with the great god Osiris in the constellation of Orion, which was the symbol for Osiris.
Boom! Right there.
Star system series.
Boom. Boom! Right. Now watch this. He finna take you to the Benben stone of Amenemhat. And he about to show you this same glyph on the Benben stone of Amenemhat. Watch this.
Right. That's crazy. I just said that.
Astronomical.
Watch this. Get him. Yeah, I'm like that.
A minute third, and that's his name here, Subet Nima Adra, given life for eternity.
He reading straight from the glyphs now.
Are the all-seeing eyes of Asar and Ra-Harakte, or the wings representing the rising spirit, the Sahu spirit. Remember, Asar, who was the great king, as I said, an Orion's belt represented Asar. He was what? Our Father, which art in heaven. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Now, real quick, what did Doc always teach us? Even back in the SR school, he used to always say, thy kingdom come to earth. He used to make reference. He used to emphasize that the book of Revelation
all the time.
Yeah. He used to emphasize that the book of Revelation was talking about a kingdom coming to earth.
Yep.
And he's showing
exactly right.
Yeah, he's showing
you. Get into that too. Go ahead.
All right, here we go.
Where would we find the Orion at? Can we validate this?
Can we validate it?
With even a man by the name of Robert Bouvel, who many Egyptologists smashed down when he tried to say that Asar represented Orion's belt and Orion represented Sahu. That was the spiritual star for us to go to. Well, we can find it. Hold this for me.
Right on the right.
I want to show you something. Have patience here. This is very small.
Right there.
So where is this symbol at of Asar and Orion?
Right there.
This symbol at? Well, let's go right over here and look closely. And what symbol do you see right here? What symbol do you see right there? You see Orion, you see Asar right there.
Boom.
Then validate that this capstone validates it on this capstone right here. Nima Adra, this was of the 12th dynastic period.
Boom.
4,000 years ago. This came from right here.
Now, if you need more, you see that, brother?
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, with the scepter in his hand on the boat. That's it. That's right.
You can't deny that.
Yeah, he said, "Well, what's this, motherfucker?"
Yeah,
this right here, then.
You can't deny that, man. I mean, even attempting to deny something like that just really makes you look extremely unintelligent. You see,
that's why, like you said, they pick and choose
exactly
who they call them. Even if a person is not willing to share their screen and show their proof, which everything that doesn't have to be done with a physical proof. You know, you don't have to have paper or sharing. But even if so, man, brothers are still spitting truth. That's but that you can't deny that. Yo, this dude Chuck, man, is so hilarious, boy. Larry, because I know him personally.
Yeah.
This be the thing. This be the thing that this is why I say, you know, they you right. I just happened to bump and get up on them shows all last year and the year before. The door was open for me to get up in there and do what I did to them. And when I get up in there, it's a different story because when someone that was walking or was around and name names and know people that was, they be like, "Oh yeah, this dude, you had to be around. How the hell, like, yeah, you know what I mean?" And I'm not, I don't mean I have to be around to the point to the fact that everybody in the nation knows me. No, what's important? The important people that. Just like Doc said, I came to see certain people, man. Exactly. And those that I reached and I touched, that's who I came for. You know what I mean? So there was those that I touched within the community and I was around that, you know what I mean, was meant to see me and gain my presence and me gain their presence. You know, to give and receive. Right. But yo, this dude, Chuck, man. Yeah, I don't even know if you finished, so I'm gonna let you. I don't want you to lose. Well, I don't know if you finished. Finish your because you just stopped the film. Finish doing what you're doing.
Okay. Well,
I'm just agreeing with you.
Okay. Well, basically, you know that whole build about Saw and Orion, that's a done data. It's irrefutable fact. Okay. Now I want to just clear something up for people that might be viewing that don't know what Nuwaupu is. Okay. First and foremost. They tried to question Dr. Malachi York about the origin of the word Nuwaupu, whether he made it up or got it from this guy or blah, 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 right? This is from Wallace Bush Hieroglyphic Dictionary as well. And you see the word right here, Nuwaba, Nuwaupu. You can change the vowels around however you want to do it. But notice that it's a question mark beside the word. So that means that Wallace Bush didn't know how to translate it. Which is why Doc always said, I'm never going to give them the true meaning of Nuwaupu. But we know what it means. And you can take it back to the root word, noob, right? All, what is Nuwaupu? All knowledge, all wisdom, all information.
I hope my boy Hooney Babatum is watching.
Yeah.
Nuba what? Nuba who?
Exactly.
That's his favorite saying to my wife. That's what they be like. From where? From Sudan? You know, my wife from Sudan, you feel me? From Sudan, you know what I mean? So, you know, that's their little inside joke. Nuba what? Nuba who?
Oh yeah. Man, we done really did some big research. My brother Saw Nunatum, my brother
you right, bro.
My brother Scotty Matthews, my brother NUWAUPIan Ansuray, you know, my brother Anajib, brother IMS Yahoo. I mean, we really digging.
Salute Rahul because Rahul is back. Peace and love and happiness and light to you all.
Yeah, man. So
this name, brother, y'all keep that going because you just brought a lot of proof that I was saying verbally to these dudes for the past 3 years. Writing it like that, and they still try to tell me I'm off my rocker. But go ahead, get them.
Well, I want to
get them, boy.
Basically explain, and this is what I was trying to explain to them clowns in the Dagger squad, that they don't have any idea what Nuwaupu is or what it's about. So this is just the basics from the What is Nuwaupu scroll, right now the scroll, page 9, right? And I just want to brief for people that might not know what this is or what this is about. This is the basic or the best way that we can explain this. It says NUWAUPIAN is the science of sound right reasoning, and its followers are the sons and daughters of sound right reasoning. Belief is ignorance. Belief is to ignore the facts, whether intentionally or ignorantly. It says NUWAUPIAN is right knowledge, right wisdom, and the right understanding. If one has to believe, it means that he or she doesn't know. And if one does not know, that's ignorance. Hence, belief is ignorance, and religious belief without the facts is ignorance. Okay, so he basically telling you, demand that anyone attempting to impose upon you their belief system is to produce the facts. All I'm saying is produce the facts. That's just like them. They didn't believe what I said? Good, I'm great. I'm glad you didn't. Now I can shine, and I produce the facts. Irrefutable evidence. Okay, this is the key right here, though. It says, to know gives one confidence, but belief infers doubt. To know gives you confidence, but to believe infers doubt. Knowledge can be checked out by one or more of three tests: experience, evidence, and reason. Knowledge is always logical, and it reasons out. The first step to NUWAUPIAN is the right knowledge, which will pass any one of the three tests that is practical for knowledge given. One cannot always use the experience test because the experience test is not practical for all knowledge. What that means is we didn't live 2,000 years ago. I've never been to Egypt. You know what I'm saying? I've never been to Sumeria. So I don't have that experience. But what he say the next sentence? The evidence and reason tests are those tests which are most often practical, meaning even though I haven't personally experienced it, which I was telling them, Chuck Morgan, about the whole extraterrestrial thing. I told him, I've never seen an extraterrestrial. I've never seen a flying saucer. I can't tell you for an actual fact that these things exist. However, I can reason out and I can provide an abundance of evidence to prove that there is more of a likelihood that life exists on other planets than it's that simple. And another thing I tried to explain to him was, it is not incumbent upon all NUWAUPIANs to accept everything that Dr. Malachi York teaches. We don't have to. That's what makes
facts
and me.
Right. That's what people don't understand. They think that everything he taught,
you don't have
to accept it, and that is no. We taught it. We debated.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because he gave us tools to use other things that wasn't that we don't rock with.
Right.
To battle with the other people, but at the same time, it was about whatever resonated with you, my man. Because everybody had a different school. Everybody didn't come for HTM.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everybody didn't come for Ansars. Everybody didn't come for the Hebrew Islamic community. You know what I mean? Everyone didn't. And I'm about to bust up. I got a surprise for you too. I'm about to show some stuff after you finish.
Okay. Yeah.
They talking about he wasn't teaching none of this stuff. I'm gonna show you some pamphlets.
Yeah. And so when I said that, they tried to cut me off because I'm telling them, like, listen, and when Doc said, you are your own master, you cannot lie to yourself. What he was saying is, if you can't verify it for yourself, then it's not real to you.
Right.
If you know it for a fact, yeah, and if you do that, because you got a lot of people that propagate certain portions of the teachings that they don't really have a full understanding, and when people ask them questions about it, they make themselves look foolish, they make us look foolish, and they make master teacher look foolish. And that's not how it works. You don't know, just
as he said, you can never make him look foolish. You can only make a jackass out of yourself.
Exactly.
And you ain't never gotta be foolish. You know, you just say up the par. Be able to say that I ain't versed in that. Admit that you don't know what you don't know that. That's what he taught. You know, don't just keep there and make an ass out of yourself and keep trying to get into try to fight something and disprove something that you know you don't even know the whole
exactly. Be humble enough to just say I don't know that particular. You know what I mean? Just
like I would try to tell some of these younger NUWAUPIan brothers that you know it was a time, you know, everybody couldn't talk, bro. You couldn't just jump up and say that unless you knew what the hell. You wasn't gonna just sell no books or be a master teacher unless you was able to articulate and do certain things and assess certain things. So you may just have been a person on guard of selling books for that reason.
Yep, that's right. That's right. It ain't, and it's not every person's nature to be a student teacher. You know what I'm saying? He had the select few. When you had the triad of Atumre, which was damn Mentu Hotep, Haru Hotep, and Khonsu Hotep. Oh,
yeah, shout out to one of my mentors, Mentu Hotep.
Noble Anthony Evans Buns. Oh man, them boys like them boys master student teachers. You know what I'm saying? You had to be qualified back then to get up on that podium. Now sometimes it seems like they just throw anybody up on the podium. Like, hey,
and that's what I'm talking about. I was graced to be amongst that and around that. Like that's where I met Larry at in DC at Mental Hotep's bookstore. You know, HTM Tabernacle.
Yep.
You know, Sadiq, Master Student Sadiq. I still got one of Sadiq's tapes before he became Triad, when he was first allowed to make his own Master Student True Light tape.
Yep, exactly. I tell you another brother who a lot of NUWAUPIANs be slipping up on, the brother that went to Africa and died of malaria. Sakim.
Yeah.
He was bad too. You know what I'm saying?
There was a lot of brothers that was bad, man.
Yeah,
Larry Chuck was bad, man.
Yeah.
That's why he mad, bro.
Yep. His whole
he didn't pass the experience.
Right.
All along the whole time, he never figured his school.
Right.
He never figured. It seemed like his purpose was just to obtain all that so he could learn to leave all that shit alone.
Right.
Because he was obsessed with that shit, bro. He was obsessed with debating. That man, I never seen I do. I can say Sakina and put that work in on Fulton, boy. Right. But I'm saying, as far as outside of the New York camp, when I went to DC, Larry, that nigga didn't even rest on Sundays. He sold books on Sundays, bro. Yep. He would come to the classes late. Right. Or sometimes he wouldn't even make it. He wouldn't even make it in for Chav. Sometimes he wouldn't even make it in for the Sabbaths if we was having a Sabbath, a Shabbat that weekend. That Friday we might have put some monies together and got some salmon and a whole bunch of other things and made a big table meal, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like how much money you got? How much money you got?
And see, that's my point,
you know
right?
What I mean? Family shit for real.
And this is my point, right? Because Chuck Morgan knows this doctrine so well, he's able to go through and pick and choose and nitpick at little shit and put emphasis on it. But he'll never take you to what is Nuwaupu and show you shit like this. You see what I'm saying? But he'll talk about extraterrestrials and all this shit, which is abundance of evidence proving that extraterrestrials exist. So that's really, like I say, if you well versed in this, nobody can pull the wool over your eyes. It's not going to happen. Period. Point blank, period. And I'm gonna take one more reading, man. Right here. It says,
not even Doc. I just wanted to agree with you with that. Can nobody pull the wool over your eyes? Not even
exactly. It says, this last line says, yet Nuwaupu is the science of experience, evidence, and reason. Why? Because nine ether is the power of reason. And all that's saying is intellect, intelligent. That's why Doc said, you cannot make another person intelligent. One must be born intelligent. Then he broke down the word intelligent, intelligenetic. It's in your genes. If it's not, this is not for you. So we don't, what's the word they use?
Cuckoo.
Yeah, we don't proselytize. We don't go out and try to convert people. You know what I'm saying? Because we know that if we plant the seed and the soil is fertile, then the seed will grow. If it's not, then it ain't gonna grow. So that's on you at the end of the day. That's on the listener. That's on the reader. We're not telling everybody that this is for you. It may not be for you. It may be for you.
Say it again though. Where you say it was at again, brother? It's in your what?
Genetics. Intelligenetic.
And it may not be what?
It may not be for you.
And that was at the beginning of the introduction of the Holy Tab. He said,
That's
if you read three words or a paragraph and it don't resonate with you, put it down. It ain't for you.
It ain't for you.
He said, because this book got some shit in here that'll fuck you up.
Exactly.
Fuck your mind up.
Yep.
And know that book has spells too, brother.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And so that's, you know, and so I wanted to do that, man. Just to show and prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that these guys who call themselves the Dagger Squad, who was these alleged Kemetic scholars, meta hieroglyphic scholars, don't know what they talking about. And notice now, when I explained this, I could have easily went to Black Book or the tablets or a scroll and showed you Sahu, Orion, and the tie-in, but I didn't even use no reference from the scrolls. And this is how you kill these guys.
Right.
And so that's my whole point is that. Like, you got people that slandering and don't even have the information.
That's how you kill a cockroach.
That's how you kill them, man. That's how you kill them, man.
He stumped their ass.
I just want to produce that evidence, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a fact that when you go to these papyrus of Egypt, stone tablets of Sumeria, Mesopotamia, Babylon, Acadia, Nubia, South Africa, you know, Nigeria amongst the Yoruba, the Igbo, the Akan of Ghana, it's all the same. Only difference is language, over time, you know, a little foreign influence, you know, geographical. But what, like I said, Nuwaupu is a universal. And
a little mixing, a little blood mixing.
That's it. That's it, man. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. And so I just wanted to basically present that, man. Anything you got to add on to that, brother?
Oh, all right. First, I want to say, I'm trying to say this name. I think it's Matawa.
Oh, that's Mahatwi. Hey, big shout out to Mahatwi. Hey, that brother putting in work over in Barbados, man.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the elder from Barbados right there.
Okay. I like what he's saying, and what he's saying is, what he just said. He said these dudes go against what we was told, because what we saying, because it came from the master teacher. Our acceptance of the master teacher is our validation. Those Negroes still need the Caucasian, and this is my point, right? These dudes out here call themselves, right, Black liberators or Pan-African or nationalists or fight the power, we are the people, Black Lives Matter movement, any little spookazi thing, you know what I mean? These dudes is all about all these movements, right? And they say they're against the system, right? Oh, the white man this and the Caucasian this and the Caucasian that, and yo, bro, they got a foot on our neck, or some don't even cry about that no more. They say you just got to get up and get out there and get on your own, right? And do this for the people, but these dudes, man, they cater to the same system that they talk about. They go with the same, like, all right, R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, any celeb you want to name, any person, you know, any one of our black leaders that they try to discredit, all the way down to Dr. Martin Luther King and Everett Cleaver and these brothers. These dudes wasn't squeaky clean, man. Feds threw they shit all out in the open that Martin Luther King and these dudes was cheating on their wives. You know what I mean? All type of things to try to discredit them to get the people from rallying behind them to make the movement go. You know what I mean? And Doc told us that 1,000 years ago. You know what I mean? That, yo, man, they gonna get every black leader through destroying their characteristic, man, their character. You know what I mean? You know why? Defaming their character. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Making them look bad in the public eye.
Exactly.
And because when this happened, watch they start crying. So now they use something like they know that cheating shit don't mean nothing in many women. They know he slept with many grown, so they throw this child molestation thing in your view, in your way, or R. Kelly sleeping with younger women, or Bill Cosby slipping women, Judy flies or whatever inside they drink, man, to get them back here.
It's a distraction.
But right, and you agree with the system. Oh, he had 135. He deserved. If you fucking saying buck the system, I mean fuck everything about the system, bro.
Well, you know what?
It's no give and take inside of that.
You know what we say, right? The white man,
big bro?
You say the white man is the devil every day of the week, except when you talk about Dr. York.
right. Except for when
you
you talk
about
Dr. York. Right.
And like I say, this initial debate with me and these guys started off about the case. That's what it started off about the case. And if you notice, every time I was putting my references and doing my build, they kept interrupting me talking about the case. Okay, if you want to debate about the case, we can do that on another show, on another time. I got the transcripts. I know the case like the back of my hand. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Because you have to know that. But the thing is, just like Doc said, he said, we have a problem with accepting any kind of information from our own.
Right.
And what the public tries to do is throw.
Hey, y'all kind of.
They try to throw media into the mix.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, this is what I want. Go ahead. Keep going.
Let's take away the man's personal life, right? Even though we know he is innocent, but let's take away his personal life and deal with the teachings. Listen, man, we could deal. Hold on, one second. We could deal with the fact that if he is guilty, man. Yeah. That doesn't
like my wife say,
doesn't change the knowledge
on these lives every day. The niggas that be in there in the chat talking all that crap, nigga, a lot of you niggas that's on here saying you R. Kelly ass dudes, man. You got R. Kelly mentalities, man. You running around here sleeping with younger women and younger girls and all that, and nobody know about it. But come on, man, you doing it. A lot of you sugar daddies out there, bro. You know what I mean? You wasn't saying that when your big brother and your mans and was coming to your school bagging shorties from out your junior high.
Yeah.
And these grown ass men was pulling up in Regals and everything, and she jumping in. She ain't walking home with you no more. Oh, man. She ain't getting on the bus no more.
Hey, I tell you one thing.
Right? Hold on. Yeah, go ahead, Khonsu.
No, I was just gonna say, man, at the end of the day, I encourage people to what the same thing we just read from the What is NUWAUPIAN? Evidence, Experience, and Reason.
Thank you, and that's what I wanted to get to.
Yeah, apply that to every facet of your life, especially when you're dealing with knowledge and information. Do the research, read the book, scrutinize it, study it first, scrutinize it. Because if you fail to do research and due diligence and intense studies, you're just as worse as a Christian, Muslim, or a Jew. Because you're proclaiming and professing things that you can't prove, you have no evidence, which renders you a believer. And that is totally against the science of NUWAUPIAN. There's no such thing as belief. So when you ask the NUWAUPIAN a question, they start getting mad, you already know something ain't right. Because you're not supposed to.
Right.
So that's what it's all about, man. My laptop is literally about to die.
Hold on, just give me one more.
Add on, brother.
Yeah. Tell me if you see this on the screen.
I see it. That's the info scroll. That's a classic right there.
This called Exhibit 1 right here. You feel me?
That's a classic. That's a throwback. Now,
these are the things that I be saying when, like you were saying with Chuck, with reasoning right and sound reasoning right with Chuck, how he chooses, how he said he'll take a quote from a book answer session, right? And he'll give you that one quote, but he'll never tell you what Doc said after that or before that, or why he said that. Now, his famous line, right? His famous quotation, right, about Doc is, right, that Doc said that they was a fanatic cult, right? I mean, no, not a fanatic cult. That it was a cult, right? That's his famous thing. He said cult means, and then he gives you the definition. He always gives you the definition that whatever that I can't remember that exactly right now the name of that question and answer when that question was asked, and he was giving an answer that wasn't his definition of what the NUWAUPIans or HTM was, the answer was. He know that's a lie right there. He know that's a bold-faced lie for you to even sit there and say that he said that a cult is he said no, by the Caucasians, by the white man's definition, any man doing for himself, any man that got an organization, any man that's doing what I'm doing, Farrakhan doing, Elijah Muhammad did, we're a cult. Anyone with David Koresh and them did, you're considered a cult, and he gave the definition. Now, he did say in the Millennium Scroll that the NUWAUPIans, lazy word, you feel me?
Yep.
Would become a fanatical cult. And he was saying that by the time that he was realizing what he was dealing with and what was really around him, you know what I mean? Because this is before he gave the thing about the 1970s babies and the 30 years he wasted. And the first fruit, true but not faithful. You know what I mean? All that when he realized he was spilling it to the wrong crowd, what he came with. And I'm going to show you. Y'all say that when he was, this is an Ansar. This is an Ansar Allah community pamphlet, right? For 716 Bushwick Ave, Brooklyn, right? What does it say? The lost children of Mu and Atlantis, right?
Yep.
You said Doc wasn't teaching this. They said Doc wasn't teaching this in Ansars, right? Or any other thing before HTM or NUWAUPIan. But that's a lie. You say he didn't come before the 60s, the 70s, and he wasn't teaching nothing about Mu and Atlantis. That's a lie. Even if this is after 1970, Chuck, you still a lie because you still missing 4, 5, 6 years that he was walking around eating pea soup, man, in Coney Island on Mermaid Ave before they even came to Brooklyn, the Bushwick. When they was walking up and down Harlem, man, and he knew and he was going to that's when he was messing with when he met the father. You know, when the father was still alive, Clarence 13X.
Yep.
You understand? But that's one. You know what I mean? This is an old Ansar Iman Issa joint when the first Dr. York versus the computer. You know what I mean? The computer. This is the first computer joint.
You got the classics.
You feel me?
Oh yeah. You got the classics.
I got one more. What was the other one they said he wasn't doing? Oh, yes. You say he wasn't talking about Isa or Jesus or Yahshua, right? Well, this is another Ansar publication, Revelations of Jesus, the Messiah to the world. You know what I mean? So all you guys that say Doc left you as a Christian in the church. Well, you got to remember that all the schools he went. Since you've been in all the schools,
exactly,
you got to remember that he never took us through church.
Yep,
he never took us to our ancestors or our grandmother's religion. He was always spitting the flames on it because y'all wanted to be Ansars, y'all wanted to be Muslims, right?
Yep.
Y'all wanted to know about Hebrews, right? Y'all wanted to be Moses in them, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he took you through those schools. So in those schools, they disrespect those people. In those schools, they say Christianity doesn't exist. Jesus doesn't exist in their Bible. So when he was saying all these things, when he was saying, oh, the Jesus' Bible is dead, he's talking about King James Bible, Jesus is dead. He's not real. There's no proof for those people. There's no proof for that Moses is.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But if you was really being truthful with the doctrine, and you would know, that Doc always gave their transliteration
And the real deal.
King James transliteration.
Mm-hmm.
In any scroll. And then he gave his.
Exactly.
Yep. So when he says little stuff like that, he use little twists and bars where, like I said, he'll make a quote from what Doc said, but then he'll never get the rest of it. So now your favorite other one, you said Doc like to tell us, you know, that was a trick of the mind. When he said, "You don't believe me, go check it out." No, he sincerely meant, fool, go check it out. He always said, "Don't let me." He always started off with himself first. Me, your imam, your reverend, your preacher, whatever. Just tell you anything, man. Do some research and look it up. So now, by definition of the things that he gave from all the translations he gave, right? When you go and fact check these things, it's a fact. Like, he made up another story. There's no proof to show that Doc registration of books. That's a lie. When I was in DC, I went and tested because I used to do it. I used to do what he said. So I literally went and got me a Congress library card. You know what I mean? And I purposely went in there and I went and looked it up to see if he was actually really ever registered in 1970 or before. Or is his books known to be publicated in the Congress? Because you say he was so low budget on the radar selling all these books and pamphlets that, you know, he hustles his way through the 90s and 80s under the radar from the feds and sold all these pamphlets. He wasn't on no scale for them to come bust him for no racketeering or laundry or, you know, RICO law. That's a lie. You know what I mean? And everybody know that's a lie, man. And I mean, if you want to be real with it, anyone that grew up in New York or grew up in or around these people in any community, you know that they wasn't no small thing, bro. They on every corner, literally. They was the first one selling soaps, oils, incense. You know what I mean? So, you know, I didn't mean to go off into a tangent. I was sitting there burning. I was sitting there burning when they was talking to you, bro, because they had to go into the audacity. They couldn't hang with you on it, so they started calling you a white boy and all this half-breed and I know where you stay and you dudes is real tough.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, you like to pick with people that don't want to fight. Or that's humble enough to sidestep your bullshit. You know what I mean? Like when y'all called yourself looking like y'all was ready to press Prince and, you know, you had them a little scared at the House of Conscience. But, bro, that thing working with everybody, bro. That's not work. You got some of us that we here for that. Yeah, you know that. You was one of them. And that's what killed me. These dudes was a part of all of this. They was one of the ones that was so-called beating the brothers up that wasn't making their quarters that they come back and they start intelling.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, intel these fucking agents, which Doc knew were agents for the jump. You know what I mean? For a lot of you people awareness, Doc had nothing to do with the land 3 years prior to it even closing.
Yep.
He been signed it over. He had nothing to do with the land. That's why you wasn't really seeing him.
That's a fact.
At the procession in 1997, at the procession, when he stopped me, he was walking with the Liberian diplomat. White boy Rick will tell you.
Yep.
Rick will tell you. Waju will tell you. You know, I had to make them say that on him. They erased it. I had to make them say that on a Mahdi Wisdom show, though.
Yep.
You know what I mean, bro? Because I was, you know, that's real. And they had to say it. Like, come on. You got to, yeah. You right. Yeah, because when he stopped you and gave you the hug, the guy you talking about that was in the African garb, that was the Nigerian diplomat. Right.
Hey, Jamal, you know, you hit on a key point, right?
Go ahead.
As far as what Chuck Morgan likes to say.
Go ahead.
as when he says, you know, 1 minute he talking about Jesus, 1 minute Muslim, 1 minute Egyptian, 1 minute Sumerian, right? But this is what kills him right here, because anybody that's been around since the Ansar school will tell you for a fact, Doc always said two things. Number one, he always said he never associated Ansars with Orthodox Muslims. He always made a distinction. He used to always say we, you know, they in reference to Muslims. He always used to make a distinction. Number two, he always used to tell people that this is only a beginning stage of knowledge that I'm coming to give you. And I want to play something real quick. This is from, I think it's 1986 or 1985 lecture in Bushwick as Imam Isa through the Ansar school, to where he is telling us as Ansars that this knowledge is going to grow and expand to different areas. Allow me to show real quick right here. This is coming from Who and What You Are audio. And if I am mistaken, it's around 1985 or 1986, to where he's explaining that the knowledge that I'm giving you now, in the future, I'm going to give you different information, because Chuck Morgan likes to try to say that, you know, the changes in schools of thought was just some random confusion, and it's not. So let's hear what the master teacher says. This is around 11 minutes right here. This is him explaining when we was Ansars that eventually the knowledge was going to grow into higher teachings.
And begin to worship him in a subtle kind of way. One of his names is God. And they've taken and called Allah God and Jehovah God in Akhira, etc., etc., etc. You follow? So you just happen to touch on a very sensitive subject. And I am here to try to bring you all back to that teaching. But I got to start with what you understand. I got to start giving you what you think you want, so you learn how to think on the level of what I have to give, or what you know you need. But I can't start by pouring out. I've been teaching for 20 years on earth, in and out, visiting in and out of here. Different beings speak to you at different times through me, trying to answer all of your questions to prepare you for the real knowledge, the real information.
You heard that? He said, to prepare you for the real knowledge.
For the real knowledge.
That right there.
I was a young dog then,
Yeah. He told you.
Yeah.
Hold on.
He told you.
Right here.
Yo, even
that you have to have.
Let's go back just a little bit more.
In and out, visiting in and out of here. Different beings speak to you at different times through me, trying to answer all of your questions to prepare you for the real knowledge, the real information that you have to have after you get through wobbling in how great you are and how you got here and how you're Abraham and your Keita and your this. When you finish all that ego tripping, then I can get down and teaching you the truth about things and prepare those who are supposed to leave here, prepare so when the ship does come, they can go. You follow? And I know that sounds crazy, but he wants to make me sound crazy. That's why he made movies like that.
You see that, Zamal? So that right there is irrefutable evidence, once again, because all we doing is dealing with the facts. That's irrefutable evidence that Dr. Malachi York, as Imam Isa in the 1980s, forewarned us and told us that these teachers was going to grow, evolve, and change in time. So now Chuck Morgan can't say, oh, this confusion, flip-flop. No, it's like elementary school, middle school, high school, college, you know, basic math, pre-algebra, algebra, you know.
But you mad because you ain't graduate.
You got to graduate, baby. You got to
grow. Man. You got to graduate. He told you not to follow, and you were so busy following, you missed the magic trick.
Exactly.
Everybody missed when he disappeared.
Yep, that's a fact.
You know what I mean? But and he told you, you should have paid attention. He gave a date and time.
Yep.
He was going to disappear. But what kills me with Chuck, right, how people ante up and rally behind this guy that says he believes in nothing no more, when we know he's a Christian, right? But, you know, he says he believes in nothing. He don't follow anything. So you same guys, this goes back to the same people, right? That say they're scholars or whatever, right? Here you are with a guy that claims that he believes in nothing or he don't see nothing no kind of way, but y'all rallying behind him and y'all got beliefs. You guys believe in something. You stand behind something, whether it's the ancestors, yourself, African-centric stuff, whatever it is. Kemet, you know what I mean? These dudes are standing on these things. He's standing on nothing. So how do you rally behind someone that presents itself as an atheist? Why would anyone take a word from an atheist?
That's it, man.
Or a Christian? That's like the pot calling the kettle black. How you gonna say Doc's a fucking Christian? He left you in Christianity. Oh, he was screaming at you. That was our dude he was screaming at. Oh, he said Jesus saved his life. You know what I mean? The last class, I said, fool, but if you played that whole class, he told you who he was talking to.
Right. And he was speaking of, and he was metaphorically speaking about how the disciples how Jesus was deceived and betrayed by his own people. Hello.
He said, you niggas out here is the wicked demons. You the ones that don't want to accept what I'm saying.
Exactly.
You the ones that Jesus was talking about. See?
Exactly.
This is when he was in his stage of, oh, you motherfuckers want to question me. And I taught you, like,
exactly.
How you gonna tell me what's next on the menu? Y'all ain't even ready for you. Matter of fact, you missed the boat on that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even give it to you now.
That's
not y'all. The babies got it because they tap it into their DNA and their RNA.
Damn right,
like
man.
I said earlier, it's in your genetics, brother.
Hey, Zamal. Hey, man, I definitely appreciate this. I enjoyed this. My damn laptop about to die.
It's all love. You did what you had to do.
Hey, we got
it again.
We got
you got enough people in here.
Yeah, we got to come back for part 2 or at least another topic. Because,
do it.
Well, hey, big shout out to Grand Kush, man. Grand Kush, he banging hard on the Noonie Boos, Noon Science. You know what I'm saying? And what we plan on doing, we bringing the 90s back. We about to bring the 90s back. Debate mode is on full force. Ain't no Doc says stop debating. Nah, fuck that. We finna bang on them.
Yeah, these antichrists gotta be put to bed.
Yeah, we gotta put them to sleep, man. We gotta put them to sleep, man. But
we about to feel the hot balls of fire.
Yeah, we got to, man. I'm gonna sign out. My brother, you wanna take us out, and then I'm gonna drop the link to a couple more people that wasn't able to tune in tonight, and we got to plan this for part 2.
Because I was going low key drop the link so people could get some questions, but that'll be the next thing. Because I want, I want that brother that you was just. I want him to get up on here.
Hey, my hot tweet is sharp. He's an elder.
I already know. I agree with everything he's saying, and he said nothing that got me feeling sideways.
Oh yeah, definitely, man.
He on point. He on point. And that's what it is about us recognizing who we are and who you are from the agreeable and the disagreeable, man. And it don't matter if you're agreeable or disagreeable. It's if you balance your nature. You got some that just their nature is that pure evilness, man. Demonic.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact.
We in a time where he said these dudes will be getting walked into. These dudes' temples of like when you get into Nah, I ain't even gonna do it. I'm gonna stop. That's too much.
Hey,
that's too much.
Part 2.
And you gotta get off. So part 2. Shout out to We Tribe. Shout out to Me Tribe. Salute to the L Tribe. Salute to the NUWAUPIans out there and the Zamals and some all that. Hotel Shalom, peace and fire, love and light to all. Subscribe, like my channel. Big up some NUWAUPIan sniper out there, London and the crew. You know what I mean? Red Pill, Captain, Rambo.
Malachi Disciple, big up the Malachi Disciple.
You know that was my next. That was who I was coming out my mouth with next. I miss my little bro. Malachi's Disciple, he was putting that work in. He had these dudes on the run, putting pain in. He was getting his views. And that's what we came to do, man. Every time they step out, somebody got to step out and smash the head of the snake, man. You got to stomp these niggas' heads back out. Because they slithered away and they waited till everyone, thought everybody forgot another summer. And here they start back out with the same routine. This Dr. York thing, man. He try to say you like a man. I think you dudes like men, man. That's crazy. Y'all can't. Listen, if y'all so badly want people to stop talking about him, stop talking about him. And we'll stop talking about him. We'll just show him prove as his students. Like dudes blew up your man. What's your boy? 21 Savage. Like they blew him up. Like it's some of us that's low key that really like know our mission, boy. Y'all dudes don't know the secret disciples out here, man. Y'all need to sit y'all asses down somewhere, bro.
Hey, we working behind
get yourself in some shit.
We working.
And you know they working for. So yeah, you ain't secret no more, nigga. I definitely ain't secret no more. This is the year. Number 19. You better know what it is this year.
Coming back.
Mask off. Live and direct, motherfucker.
Wadu's is till next time.
Wadu. Catch y'all part 2. Shout out to the rest of my crew. And we out. Yo, good show, bro.